Hey, Carl here. Another lesson that is part of the GuitarU.com Internet Learning School, a school I built to share guitar playing with the world. I hope you enjoy it. Right now I'm talking about playing movable chords with their root notes on string 4. A lot of players tend to avoid, ignore, or just not simply think of these types of chords, which is a big mistake. They're always in the right frequency range. They always give you that little bit of treble clarity that will help you punch through a muddy mix, especially when playing with another guitar player or piano player. So learn them and use them and know them. You'll really be glad you did. They're tight, they're snappy, and they're always in the right frequency range. If you like Angus Young of AC/DC, he favors them. Robbie Krieger of The Doors favors them. Many players use them. These chords are based on D major, D minor, D7. Now, the one that I use in my system of guitar organization for a D major chord is actually a D5 power chord. A, D, A, D. That's because it's a little difficult to take that normal D shape and move it up and then stretch back with your first finger. So I use the power chord. Here I'll play it in the key of E. Using this chord in the key of E, I use my open E string, and it always gives a great sound. It just makes a song in that key sound terrific. You can see how I'm doing it with my first finger barring the A and D strings of the second fret, my third finger on the G string, my pinky on the E. Here I can use the open E, and it just always seems to deaden out that E string, top E string naturally. When I move the chord up the neck, I have to block that fat string with precise finger placement. So that's my root 4 power chord. Just sounds great. A good way to practice this is playing a root 6 power chord, a root 4, and a root 4. And you can hear that's a real well-known standard progression. So here I'm playing G, C, F. Many songs use that type of progression. If you know your theory, you know I'm going through the circle of fourths. Songs like Cherry Cherry and ROCK in the USA and What I Like About You. Great sounding chord. Great sounding chord. Please use it and know it. When playing a minor version of a root 4 movable chord, you'll of course be thinking of the D minor shape. This is not strictly a bar chord. Here I'm moving it up a whole step to E, E minor, and it's quite a stretch, but without much effort you can naturally get that chord. First finger on E, then I make something that looks like a D minor, but since I'm up the neck, it's actually E minor. The dominant 7 version of this chord can also be a real lifesaver, especially in those blues jams when there's one or two other guitar players and a piano player and a bass player and lots of people in that low frequency range. If you've ever heard Roadhouse Blues by The Doors, you hear that chord. There I'm playing an E7, which again, just a traditional D7, move it up 2, grab that E with your first finger, and you're home. And there's that E7 movable form. Once you have used the interactive diagram in this lesson to learn how to name every note on string 4 instantly and automatically, study the 3 diagrams you see below. They have a major chord, power chord, minor chord, and dominant chord on every single fret of the guitar all the way up and down the neck. Pluck the root note, say the name of the root note, hit the chord, think minor, major, dominant, all the way up and all the way down the neck. You can do it in the space of 10 minutes and it will really pay off. Remember, learning the guitar means learning chords. Also, Your eyes program your brain and your hands. This is Carl. See you next time.